Day trading is nearly impossible without a money-making strategy that you can stay consistent with. That is why you must have rules to follow and profitable day trading strategy in order to become successful at day trading. For that reason, I decided to make this video, sharing my favorite and what I consider to be the best day trading strategy I have found in my 12 years trading career. And also, for the fact that a lot of you have been asking for a higher time frame strategy, here it is. Do not forget to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel, as it motivates us on the hunt for the Holy Grail. Okay traders, so this is the United States dollar Japanese yen, and we are on the 1 hour time frame. Before we go over the strategy, let me quickly explain how this indicators work, as understanding the concepts is a crucial role towards this strategy. Now the three indicators you see on the screen are the wave trend 3D, chandelier stop, and the momentum moving average. To add these to the chart, simply bring up the indicator panel. For the first indicator, search for the wave trend 3D by Jdihorty. And for the second indicator, search for the chandelier stop, this one right here by Pip Charlie. And for the last indicator, search for the MA momentum. This one right here by Peaceful Lizard 50262. Okay traders. For the settings, bring up the wave trend 3D, and on the style, reduce the thickness for the bullish and bearish trigger cross. And that's all for this indicator. For the second indicator, double-click on the chandelier. On the input, change the look-back period and the ATR period to 21, then reduce the ATR multiplier to 2. And that's all for this indicator. Now for the last indicator, double-click on it to bring up its setting. Then move on to the style. We would only untick the plot for this indicator. And that would be all for the settings. Before we move on traders, it is important to understand how this wave trend 3D works, as it serves as our main indicator. For this indicator, it tells you actually what's going on with other time frame other than the 1 hour time frame, as we have the fast, normal, and slow oscillator. This big moving average is the slow oscillator, as it identifies the major trend in the market, while the fast and normal oscillator would determine our points of entries as they generate these points. And for this other two indicators, they would be serving as our confirmation indicator, as this chandelier gives our stop-loss points. The MA momentum would be serving as our momentum gauge. The major concept behind this strategy is that we tend to identify the start of a major trend in the market, then take position at market retracement. This strategy works best on major pairs as well as crypto and stocks with high volatility in market. Please don't forget to smash the like button if you are enjoying this content. Now for a buy signal to be valid, we first need to see the bold moving average cross above the zero line, and the moving average should be in green. This would serve as our first confirmation, as it confirms the start of a new bullish trend. We would then want to wait till we see the fast and normal oscillator produce a red while it's above the zero line. This indicates market retracement or temporary price movement against the established bullish trend. When we have this, we would now have to check for two things. We would first check our chandelier stop, as we would want to see it on green with price action above it. Then also, we would be checking our MA momentum, as we would want to see it on green as well as having the column above the zero line. Please note that we only take trade once a new trend is established, because if we try to take every trade when we get the retracement signal, we would experience a lot of bad trades, as the first retracement in a new trend tends to give a high win rate. So let's recap on our conditions for a valid buy signal. First, we need to see a new cross from this bold moving average on the wave trend 3D above the zero line, while it changes from red to green. Secondly, price action has to be above the chandelier stop, and the chandelier stop has to be colored in green. Then lastly, we need to see the MA momentum on green while it's above the zero line. Once we have these conditions met, we would then have to place our buy stop order at the peak of the trigger candlestick. Stop loss at the chandelier while take profit is at 2 times the risk. And we see it was successful. Exactly the opposite is true for a short signal. For a sell trade to be valid, we first need to see the bold moving average cross below the zero line, and the moving average should be in red. This would serve as our first confirmation, as it confirms the start of a new bearish trend. We would then want to wait till we see the fast and normal oscillator produce a green while it's below the zero line. This indicates market retracement or temporary price movement against the established bearish trend. When we have this, we would now have to check for 2 things. We would first check our chandelier stop, as we would want to see it on purple with price action below it. Then also, we would be checking our MA momentum, as we would want to see it on red as well as having the column below the zero line. Like we said previously, we only take trade once a new trend is established. And when we have our conditions met, we would now have to open a sell stop order at the bottom of this trigger candlestick. Stop loss at the chandelier, while take profit is at 2 times the risk. And we see it was successful. Here is another valid sell trade we would have taken. So we see we got a new trend signal from the wave trend as it closes below the zero line while the moving average changes to red. We waited till we got this green dot below the zero line, as this indicates possible bearish retracement. When we had this condition met, we then had to check our confirmation indicators to confirm if we would have to enter our short position. The chandelier confirms the entry as we see price action is below the moving average and the moving average is on purple. Then secondly, we can see we have the MA momentum is on red as it's below the zero line. We would then have to open a sell stop order at the lows of this trigger candlestick. Stop loss at chandelier stop, while take profit at 2 times the risk. And we see it was successful. Let's now go over the back testing for this strategy. As we would be using an account size of $1,000 and 200 back tests, as well as risking 1% of our account size on each trade. Let's dive into it. Okay traders, so we just finished with the back testing for this strategy. And looking on the screen, we can see that the strategy is super amazing. Having made 64% win rate in 200 back-tested trades, we won 128 trades and lost just 72 trades. And that made us 184% return on our initial deposit. Although commissions and spread fees were not included during the back test, so you definitely want to expect that number to be lower when trading live. This strategy is really effective. Like I said earlier, find trending pairs to make the most out of this strategy, as when the market trends most of the time, you easily make money. If we look at the profit factor, we can see that it is really a good strategy, having made 6 consecutive wins in a row against 4 losses in a row. So you definitely need to try this strategy out if you want to make monthly profits from the market. Let's now compare the strategy with some other strategy back-tested on this channel. In terms of return on investment, this strategy is really good, although not the most profitable on the channel, as it made incredible return no one ever imagined. 184% return on investment is super amazing, as this tends to be our first 1-hour time frame strategy back-tested on this channel. Most of you asked for a higher time frame strategy, and here it is. You should probably test this strategy out if you want monthly profits from the market while you go about your daily activities. If we take a look at the win rate, which is probably one of the most important metrics, we can see that the strategy is good as well, as it made 64% win rate during the back test. So make sure to add this to your trading arsenal. So yeah, traders, definitely give this strategy a try, and make sure you do the proper back testing and forward testing before trading live. By the way, if you have any strategy you would like to try out, please let us know on the comment section. Also, feel free to check out my other videos on our channel. I have playlists with different strategies and indicators that will definitely make you a profitable trader. So make sure you smash the like button if you really need more videos like this in future. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.